New York gangster.
Yeah, that one didn't
Poorly.
work for me so much.
No. Still had some funny scenes. Here we go.
Hey everybody, it's Walker and Nick at Full Spectrum Laser, and welcome to Laser Talk.
What's up, everyone? Welcome back again for another week of tips, techniques, and all things good in lasers at Full Spectrum Laser. What do we have going on this week, Walker?
So we're going to talk pro tips and pro machines in general.
Absolutely. So we're going to dive into a little bit of the pro machines, a little bit of software, a little bit of tips and techniques as far as using the machines, and then we're going to talk a little bit of business, a little bit of return on investment when you're purchasing a machine, and we're going to specifically identify the Pro 20 and kind of take a look at the sale we have going on and just look and see how easy it is to get your money back on something that's priced between $4,000 and $5,000.
So let's talk about pros. I love pros. I have a pro.
What size Pro do you have at your house?
I have a 48 by 36,
That's a
and
big Pro.
I love it.
Yeah.
There's no project too big for it, and that's what's awesome. Benefits for pros are going to be its size, and its cutting, like its power, and just overall, it's going to be a stronger machine.
Right.
So you can run that thing into the ground without any issues because the gantry is so solid. Now there are benefits when it comes to the Z table, and then we have the pass-through door as well.
It looks like we have a question actually from Amber on Facebook about pass-through doors. She wants to ask, how's it read? What about Amber on Facebook wants to know how the pass-through doors work on the Pro. Well, actually, we can just kind of show you right here. We have a Pro right here in front of us that we'll just give a little bit of a tilt down. Right here. As you can see, if you want to slide your chair a little bit, Walker, these pass-through doors allow you to put larger objects right through onto the table, and then there's another one on the back side that you can actually put larger objects all the way through the entire machine. So without having too much problem at all, you can just pop open the doors and feed in larger sheets of material. Now, on the large machines like the Pro 48 that Walker has at his house, you can actually put a full sheet of plywood right inside the machine. So full sheets of material, 4 foot by 8 foot, you can actually put right inside the machine without having to trim down or anything like that. It's actually pretty great.
Yeah, you can just go to the hardware store and buy a whole sheet and just throw it in there. Now this guy will take a 24-inch all the way back, all the way up to, however long you can get them. I think standard is 48.
Absolutely. So a lot of times you go into a Home Depot or a Lowe's and you'll see a 2 foot by 4 foot section of hobby material. It's usually in the front part of the lumber section, usually in vertical pillars. Those are perfect for the Pro 24. It's a lot of material, very good price, and fits right through the pass-through doors.
Now designing for something like that, if you have a single design that's actually larger than the machine itself, using that pass-through door is essential. So what you'll have to do is actually design half the design. Like a lot of people do cursive words, and they want it to be larger than their actual machine and sell like a 50-inch cut.
Absolutely.
So what they're going to do is cut their design right there using Illustrator. It's just a simple cut tool, and you'll have an open object file.
Absolutely. So a little bit to kind of show you an illustration, and I don't know, we'll kind of get up a little closer to the camera so you can see, but essentially, if you have a word like the word Ford, now that's not cursive because I'm not going to try to do that sideways, but you'd want to split your file down the middle and essentially have this side of your file run as one. And then you want to put marker points here on the corners that will be a transfer point for your second file, which will be here. And then what you want to do is line up these points on pass-through. And then what you can do is you can actually run the second file with the lid open.
Yeah, lid open, and it's not going to actually fire.
It won't actually fire on your laser. You can actually make sure that it's aligned before you pass through. But a lot of people do that with larger machines, especially with the pass-through doors. It makes it really easy, especially in Inkscape or Illustrator. It's really easy to do that type of adjustment to your file and have it as an open file.
Yeah, just simply cut it. Some mistakes, some people could accidentally cut it and then leave it closed.
Absolutely.
Then you're going to have a cut
right
word.
down the middle.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which basically, that's what you did. What would have happened anyway.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So now we're going to talk a little bit about purchasing a machine and then kind of figuring out how to figure out your return on investment on the machine. So a Pro 20-inch machine right now we have a great sale on. $4,500 comes with the chiller, everything you need. So with a $4,500 machine, let's talk about that real quick. Let's say our goal on the $4,500 machine was to engrave tumblers. Now, a tumbler cost right now, you can go to Costco and get a set of 2 tumblers. I think it's a 2-pack for $12. So we'll call that a $6 cost per tumbler. So the cup is $6. Now, what do you sell a tumbler for online with a great engraving or personalized engraving? Would say $25 to $30 with an engraving. Personalized engraving, you can even upcharge that to another $10. So let's say a medium on that would be like $35. We'll call it $36 just so the math's nice and easy. So let's say you're making $30 a cup. Now, the really easy thing to figure out then is how long does it take you to engrave a cup? Now, if you can do 4 cups in an hour, you need to kind of think about what your hourly rate is and what you would charge someone. Now, typically when you are doing a large run, you're not going to be making these for one-offs. If you're selling 20 of them to a store or a school or organization, you're going to give them a quote based on the entire run. Now, if you're selling these as one-offs, you're going to want to increase the cost per item a bit, just so you can account for how much time it takes to do one item rather than batching out, 40 or 50 of them at a time.
That's definitely going to take a lot more of your time to design one design and then run it once.
Absolutely. So as you're thinking about that, with a $36 cost on the item, we'll call it a $30 bridge between your cost of goods and the retail cost. If that a $30 markup on there kind of justifies your amount of time you're spending on it, all you simply have to do is divide the $4,500 machine cost by that $30, and that's how many cups that you have to sell this machine. Now, real quick off camera, Scott's going to do that math on the calculator, dividing $4,500 by $30 per cup and how many cups that is. Really, the calculator's not pulled up? It's okay, Ruben's got it. Well, actually, we can do this in our head. 30 goes into 3 goes into 45, 15. So you have to sell 1,500 cups.
Yeah, I didn't want to mess it up.
No, it's okay. Actually, not 1,500, 150 cups. Excuse me.
It's not bad at all.
No. So if you think about that, 150 tumblers at $30 a piece or $36 a piece. You just paid for. Is that math correct? Someone double check me on that math. I would hate to quote you only have to sell that many, and then it's actually you have to sell 10 times that.
Yeah.
Like I said, that's an easy way to do it. Now, if you have one item, just tumblers, it's 100. We're correct on that math. Okay, so it's only 150 tumblers. But if you add in tumblers, jewelry, earrings, personalized engravings, name plates, name tags, what have you, it's really quick to figure out how you can justify the price of the machine, and then start. I don't want to say printing money, but really once the machine's paid for, the cost of goods on a lot of things are really inexpensive. Friday, actually, on our 1-hour build, where's our little build, our 1-hour build on Friday, what we're going to do is actually demonstrate a couple of jewelry designs that Walker's been working on, a few earring designs, and then some packaging for it. So you can actually learn how to not only make the product, but also the packaging for your product, which is something you normally have to outsource from another product anyway. So if you think about it, the cost that you save from packaging, which you can do now in-house, price tags you can do now in-house, and then doing the product, your only real overhead is a little bit of cardstock and then the things you need for your items. So for instance, jewelry, there's a lot of things on Alibaba and Amazon and even sites like Romark and Johnson Plastics where you can build jewelry projects or other things by getting blanks or items that you need to complete the project. Like what are some of the things you do like that?
Buying blanks.
Yep.
So I've actually made sunglasses and I've bought just the hinges.
Right.
So the rest of it I actually made myself. Mm-hmm. So I don't have to outsource some sort of arm. I can actually design my own arm or own lens and actually cut that out.
Right.
And just the hinge, that's something I can't make.
And that's kind of how you can think about your laser cutter is some of the parts that you can't make, it's not a big deal. You just source those out and then you start using those as part of your overhead and cost of goods and piece it together. So doing things like cufflinks or necklaces or earrings or
light fixtures is a good one.
Another one, or the covers for light switches. That's the one that people love. Just replacing the switches covers on people's light switches, or putting labels on them, or helpful reminders to kids to shut off the light as they're heading out the door. I know my mom always used to get on me about forgetting to shut the light off. If you're watching, Mom, I'm sorry about all those times. I think she used to tell me it cost a dime every time you turned it on or something like that.
My dad was like that.
Yeah. So little helpful reminders, you can do things like that, or signs for kids' doors, all sorts of options and ideas.
Creativity, like whatever you can think of, really, you can design it with the laser somehow.
Absolutely. Now, another nice, I guess, caveat to think about when you're working with the pro or even a hobby series for that matter is what type of businesses that this could add a little bit of extra onto. So let's say you're already a woodworker, let's say you're already doing something where you could either put your own personal signature on or you could personalize those items you already make with people's names. You can get one of our CO2 or fiber lasers in-house and for a very small bit of overhead really add a whole nother dimension to your company. Let's get a question from, looks like we got a couple piling in.
Where can you sell these things that you make?
Oh, great question.
Yeah.
So lots of, where do you sell a lot of things that you make?
Etsy.
Etsy's a good one.
A big one.
You do a lot on eBay too, don't you?
Yeah. Oh, a lot on eBay. Yeah.
Yeah. So another place, Facebook makes it very easy for you to set up a store. So you can kind of have everything centrally located on Facebook. You can sell on Etsy. Amazon even has different programs.
You can add on to Amazon. And your bigger, broad, spectrum customers that see your product, the better.
Absolutely. So also think about when it comes to selling your product, taking samples of your product into local shops and seeing if they would be interested in doing like a small order. So let's say you look at the earrings that we're going to show you how to make at the 1 hour build on Friday, and you're inspired to make some of your own earrings. We can make 20 sets of those earrings and go into a few local shops and see if they would be interested in either doing a consignment deal, which if you're not familiar with consignment, what that basically means is they keep your product in shop, and as they sell them, they pay you per item sold. Now, that's not too typical, but it's an easy way to get your foot in the door if maybe someone's not too amped on doing a purchase order of 20 or 50 sets of your jewelry. You can get them in the store on consignment, and they can kind of feel it out how well they sell.
Well, yeah, and the best thing is that your product is out there. People
Absolutely.
are seeing it, and let's say one person loves that, they're into like some sort of genre or scene, and then they can talk to others about, oh, I found this there, and just, it's all about exposure at that
Absolutely.
time.
And if you remember what Jimmy DiResta said a few weeks ago, one of the biggest things to do when you're just getting started out is send stuff to your friends for free. So get that stuff out there, get your name out there, get your product out there. Just every one of your friends who has an Instagram account, send them a free item, get them to take a picture of it and get it out there. Make sure they hashtag it with your your name and your website, and leave a link and tag your accounts and all that jazz. But just start getting exposure out there. Don't feel as though those precious little things you've made are things you can't share with the world. That's really what you want. So as you're starting out, make sure that you're not holding on to them too tight. You're getting those out there in the world. Looks like we have one more question coming in. Larry asked, do you offer live training for Pro Series laser cutters? Larry, we're kind of doing that right now. Now, what we do offer is in-house in pro installs for live laser cutters, and what we'll be offering here in the future, probably after the midpoint of this year, is just a little bit of. We'll be offering a few in-house training sessions here at our Las Vegas facility, where we'll actually personally train you on your specific laser system. So if you're a Pro 36 user, you can come in and we'll give you specific training on the Pro 36 and actually show you design techniques, different maintenance techniques, and Walker will actually walk you right through what he thinks are some of the things you can do to enhance your experience using the machine.
Ease of use.
Ease of use is always the thing. That's one of the best things about full spectrum laser machines is actually the ease of use of those. Looks like a question in from Nebraska. Archie wants to know, he's considering a Pro 20x12 or a Pro 2416. What's the differences and examples?
Well, Pro 20x12 comes with a 45 watt, I believe, and the Pro 24x16 has the 90 watt.
So really, the Pro 24 is like the least expensive way to get the 90 watt system.
Yeah. So, and it has the Z table. It's got the same solid gantry that you can run, constantly. Yeah. If I was going to get one, I'd get the bigger. I'd get the bigger one because big projects.
Absolutely. So, if you're considering those two items, you're really considering a 45 watt and 90 watt system. Now, it's really based on what you're trying to do. If you're trying to cut a lot of things that are thicker than 1/4 of an inch, you absolutely need to get a 90 watt system. But if your needs are you're going to be doing a lot of engraving and not a lot of cutting at all, that's going to be thicker than 1/8 of an inch, there's no need to spend the money and go above and get a 24 inch for a 90 watt system when you can take advantage of our great deal we have on the Pro 20. Just shameless plug one more time. 45 watt, is it still down here? There it is. Yeah, the 45 watt Pro 20x12 with the chiller fully included. I mean, that's the same price as a hobby series without all the accessories. Well, actually, with all the accessories included, about what you run into with a hobby series.
Yeah, it's a Pro that fits through the door. It's got the Z table, so you have about 8 inches.
Absolutely.
So if you can put something thick in there if you want it.
And the pass-through doors.
Yeah, and the pass-through doors.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think you touched on it for a second. It was all about application, really, when
Yeah.
it comes to choice. And you said that just adding to a product already is a great thing. Like, I know we think about like the whole project being laser cut sometimes.
Right. Yeah.
And just adding, you know, that little engraving or something on a existing product makes it so much better.
Absolutely. So a lot of people, I know some people that do some quilting and knitting, and after the end of the product, they put in a neat little wooden tag that kind of gives a label for the product. Now, they're not laser cutting, they're not laser cutters, but they just use the Hobby Series laser just to make cool tags and accessory additions to what they're sewing. So any real, I mean, it doesn't matter if you're a woodworker, a seamstress, if you are a builder, if you are someone who makes with your hands, a laser can really add another dimension to what you're doing.
Yeah, I knew a girl that did costume design, but it was like one-off pieces of like nice clothing, and she just laser cut just the tag for the back of the clothing.
Yeah.
And they were like $1,500, but the dresses were awesome, and
Yeah.
it just was like like shiny acrylic with her logo. It was just awesome.
Looks like Ruben's got a question for us from Facebook. What do we got? So,
What's the software doesn't read Corel?
what's the best way to mark tumblers with CO2? Which one will these do? Okay, how about we start with the top there? So Brett Mabry asks, what's the best way to mark tumblers with the CO2? Now, it really depends on what type of tumbler. If you have a stainless steel tumbler where there's no anodization or no paint on it, you'll need to do either Surmark or Thermark on it, which is the best way to do it. You don't necessarily have to use a rotary, but it works best to get around the edge, especially with the tumbler. And then with anodized or painted, you can just
remove it away.
Absolutely. So when you're doing that engraving, you're actually just taking away the paint, right?
Yeah, you're just exposing the metal from the paint or the anodization, and you're always going to use, like, I would use a rotary if it's going to be larger than 2 inches wide.
Absolutely.
And anything outside of that spectrum, you're going to want a rotary.
Jason Cry asks, has the work area changed on the Muse to slightly under 12 inches? Absolutely not. So when you engrave, though, sometimes you need a little bit more room to have the laser run. So you could still, like if you wanted to run a 20 by 12 vectorized square, you'd be able to do that in the Muse. If you wanted to engrave a 20 by 12 square, you'd have to go very slow,
Extremely
and
slow.
probably just under 20 by 12. There's just that's the effectable work area, but it's not necessarily the size you can engrave. The faster your engraving is, the smaller area you have to work with. So you lose, if you're at 100% speed, you'd lose about 3/4 of an inch on either side of the work area.
Yeah, as that laser goes by, at that speed, it needs to come back. So it needs some room to come back.
It does need to come. It's more about slowing down, coming to a complete stop, and then speeding back up and being at complete full speed when the laser's engraving, right?
Yeah. It needs that room just to go back. So
Simon's asking, what's the software on the Pros if you can use Corel? So Corel is most other lasers are slaves to Corel, so I can understand why Corel questions come in. With Corel, you can do one or two things. You can either save as a PDF or SVGs. I guess you're asking about RE1, Simon. If you are asking about RE1, save it as SVG and then or a PDF, and you can either right-click and send it to the print driver, or you can just control print from Corel and send it to the FSL print driver.
yeah, just in the print driver. And if he was asking what software we use, we have our own third parties, our own software.
It's not third party, it's our
Yeah,
software.
no, that's what I meant. And you can use your own third-party software to send designs to.
Absolutely. So if you're using Corel or Inkscape or whatever, you can send it into Retina Engrave by using Control Print or sending it over with the print driver. So it looks like we have Jim asked if you can use the Pro with iMac. You can soon. It'll be, actually this ties in with another question that we have here about when will the Pros be available to have RE3. It'll be about 2 months before the Pros will be available with RE3, but as soon as that's available for the upgrade, you'll be able to use Pros with an iMac, absolutely.
Yes, house.
Ruben says, hello, gentlemen. How's it going, Ruben? Looks like our buddy Ruben. Good to hear from you again.
Like he's right there.
He's right there. Jason, thanks. No problem, sir. Our pleasure. What other question do we have here? What's the best way to mark? Oh, we just did that one. Has the worker just did that one?
It's very hard to read.
I know, it's hard to see on the little screen. Easy use, also feature-rich. Simon Wall, you're absolutely right. So it's very easy to use. The feature-rich software on the RE3, there's actually going to be more features added to RE3 as far as some of the different engraving features. A lot of people have questions about cross-hatch engraving, which you can still technically do in RE2 and 3, you just have to design for it. That's just a vector marking, it's just a little bit different. There's just not an auto setting for it yet, but that will be a feature that we're working on. Maybe not necessarily how you have it pictured or how it was in RE1, but it'll be something similar to that with different patterns. Looks like John's asking, can I make and sell items with licensed images, i.e. like the Black Panther, or is that illegal? It's absolutely illegal. I wouldn't
Depends
use
on
that.
how big of a scale you're running with, right?
No, don't take that advice. The real advice is all trademark items are absolutely legal. Here's the rule of thumb. If you're making money off of it, you shouldn't with the trademarked item. So if you've ever seen it in a movie, a TV show, a commercial, if it's on any kind of package, specifically if you see one of these two things near it, if you see an R with a circle around it or a TM with a circle around it, if you see either of these two things, yeah, you shouldn't use that object. You shouldn't use either one of those things.
There are parody clauses, though. They're clever.
Right, but you can't, if you can't do a parody and then sell the parody as an item. So like, if they did SNL can do a sketch of Harry Potter, but they couldn't sell parody Harry Potter items.
What about like Weird Al? He sells music.
So he gets permission to do those songs. See,
I was just wondering.
Absolutely.
We're having like a conversation.
Whole trademark conversation. Sorry. In different, like if you, I'm sure everyone's gone through any type of trademark class in college. This is all old news to you. But for the younger kids out there who have not thought about this type of things, I know it'd be great to make some Wakanda necklaces and things like that. Would be great. That Black Panther had so much great set design and so many awesome things going on inside that movie that it'd be amazing to kind of steal a little bit of that. But those people worked hard on that stuff. I wouldn't suggest stealing anything.
Take the idea and make it your own, right?
Absolutely. Now, what you can do, and like what a lot of people do, is they put their own favorite football team on stuff they're going to have in their home or things they're going to just use for personal use. Now, if you're going to use it for personal use, there's very, very, very loose laws about personal use stuff. Just as far as you making money on it, if you selling the item, I would steer clear of that completely. I wouldn't put it in photos that helps you sell. Like I wouldn't even do something inspired by the movie Deadpool and then put like Deadpool's poster behind it and then try to sell your item. I would completely disassociate from trademarked items.
Be unique.
Absolutely. Hi guys, Steve Hasenbrock's asking, I received my cool box with Muse yesterday. Love it, it really cleans things up. Equipment gets rid of the 5-gallon bucket. Makes for a very clean and tidy install. Well, thanks Jason Hasbrook, I appreciate it. He's one of the first people to get one of our cool box. Do we have, there it is right there. One quick shameless plug for the cool box. So if you're a Muse user out there, we've got this cool box right here. This takes place of the, let's turn it around so we get the nice little logo there on this side. Yeah. If you're tired of the water bucket, this is the answer. The cool box is for you. This is your air compressor and your water chiller all in one. It also comes with an extra exhaust fan that can go on the back exhaust port of your Muse. Check it out. If you need any information on that, get in contact with your sales guy or give us a call or an email at marketing@fslaser.com. There's also a link that you can go check out and fill out an interest form at fslaser.com/coolbox. And looks like, do we have any more questions from the webs? Looks like Steve has one more question. No install instructions for the 1.5-inch lens. Oh, they should have got a sheet in that 1.5-inch lens. It's basically removing the bracket and popping out the lens and sliding it back in. If you have any problem with that, Steve, just give us a call and we'll get you straightened away with that right away. And we'll give Ruben, can you make sure that Steve's sales guy gets a note to send him the PDF of the install instructions for the lens? Yeah, we'll get that sent to you today, Steve. Sorry about that. That should have been included in the box, but we'll get that squared away for you right away. Looks like we have, weekly contest winner. This was great. Congratulations to Carrie Komai. These little doors you made are terrific. She used 1/4 or 1/8 inch birch plywood 18 speed, 93 power, 100 current. Did 2 passes. She uses these to decorate gardens and outside her home. They're great little items there, so great job, Carrie Kamai. We'll be reaching out to you this week. Oh, there we go, slide in frame. We'll reach out to you this week about winning the updated lens or some money towards another purchase.
Yeah, she has an old hobby laser. So.
Oh, it's an old 5th gen hobby laser?
Yeah.
Maybe it's time to use that $250 to upgrade your hobby system.
Possibly.
Yeah, it's could be that time.
Double up.
Yeah, absolutely. So what else we have? We always, as always, have the survey. If you could take a few minutes, we're always trying to be better. I think it takes a total of 4 minutes and 30 seconds to go through and do the survey. There's mostly clicks. You can leave comments if you'd like, but we'd love to hear from you. Love to make things better. Please give us a little bit of feedback. Also, remember, I know we've plugged it a few times. We have a great sale going on with the Pro 20x12. It's only $4,500. Includes everything. What's that?
Yeah, can we bring it up again one more time?
We'll bring it up one more time before we go. It's such a great deal. We only have a few of them left. I just want to make sure that people understand that.
No, it's an awesome Pro.
Awesome deal, and just a few left, so make sure you get on it real quick. Looks like, okay, we'll have that DM, that note was not for me. I'm sorry for reading that off. Okay, what else we have?
Also, check us out Friday.
Oh, right, so that Friday, our 1 hour build is going to be a great 1 hour build. Why don't you tell them a little about what we're going to do, Walker?
So, we're going to do earrings, show you how to make some earrings really cheap, really easy, and then we will have Nick talk about the kind of packaging, so you can in-house make everything for your product.
Absolutely. So it's really easy to reverse engineer just a little bit of packaging that you need to use for whether it's an earring, a necklace, maybe you're going to sell. Even if it's a pin, button, I mean, really anything. A little bit of cardstock and a little bit of ingenuity, and you can do packaging for anything. Even if you're just doing tags for your items, it's really great. I make little tags for my mom's items she makes at home.
What's she make again?
I always tell people, my mom's a genius. She goes into, I guess you call them like Goodwills and Salvation Armies.
Yeah.
And she finds old, cool sweaters, and she makes mittens and headband sets out of them. So we make tags for her on the laser.
They look really cool.
Yeah, they are.
I like them.
Thanks. I'll tell my mom you said so.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, that's all we got for this week. Again, make sure you check us out on Friday for the 1 hour build at 4 o'clock. We'll be doing those jewelry builds and the packaging, and we'll talk a little bit more about ROI.
Yeah, ROI, and next week we're doing the measuring billets, the measuring rulers for pros.
Absolutely. So all you pro users out there, a lot of people wonder about how you get an extra measuring billet. The beautiful part is you can just cut another measuring billet, and we've got some cool designs that we're going to do next week to show you kind of a little more interesting, fun way to have a measuring billet in your pro machine.
I actually took mine at home and spray painted it pink
So you
because
didn't
it's
lose it?
clear. I always lose it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, easy way
that's
not
a
to
good
lose.
tip.
Yeah, absolutely. Anything else we have going on that we just want to make sure we mention? Usual graphics of each category. That's probably not needed to be said. Anyway, what's that? So don't forget to check us out. Now, we've had a little bit of technical difficulties on a few of these because we've just got this new Pro in our makerspace here in FSL. But we're doing a new series of in-the-cut live laser sessions. Make sure you check them out. We're just going to do a bunch of different examples of different types of materials.
Random stuff, right?
Yeah,
we're
if
just
there's
going to go
anything
live.
Absolutely. If you'd like to see it, if you'd like to see a live engraving of anything, whether it be a cell phone or a piece of granite or something oddball, as long as it's safe, we'll try it. Send us what you think. Ruben, you'll put that out? Yeah. Send it out to Ruben. He'll square it away, and we'll get it tried for you. So I guess that's all we have until Friday. So until next time, make sure you check us out and
keep making.
Yeah, we'll see you then.